Hey, Don here. Forgot to move my mic over, didn't I? Maybe I know it's going to cough. Okay. Hey, Don here. Forgot to move my mic over, didn't I? Uh-oh, I hear myself. I need to cough. I need to get off my page there. It'll reuse up all my memory. Okay, so I decided what I want to do. I'm not so sure that I'm even going to like the Cinnamon desktop. You know, it's got some differences, and I've never used it before, so it's based on Genome 2, and I like Genome 2, but I know Mate having trouble, with both of them. So as far as like errors during the live system, and I was wanting to make my whole idea was I wanted to make a start to finish install video. Mostly for my old neighbor who moved away, but I've known him since he's like 3 years old. He grew up next door to me, but he wants to put Fedora. He's going to need to put 25 on his, or probably they may have to do Debian, but I want him to do Fedora because I think he'll like it the best. If easiest for him to learn. I put a remix of Fedora Corora Linux version 17 on his laptop for him several years ago. Anyway, he's got another machine that's it's a Vista, Windows Vista, and it's EOL end of life, not supported anymore. So I thought, well, I can make a little video start to finish to help him, get that Fedora on his machine. And if anybody else ever sees it, then good. And it helpful to him. But I've been going round and around trying to get I didn't want to just aim the camera at it because it's I can't get a good clear picture that way. I wanted to do remote desktop. It works perfectly in Fedora 2532-bit, but it doesn't work in 64-bit with TeamViewer, which is what easy one to use because you can run it in portable mode. So anyway, I've been trying to install a VNC app, one of the ones I've used over the years, in the live system, and I've been going round and round. So I think I have it. I know it worked in Debian the other day, and so I think it should work in here too. But I had all kinds of weird errors a while ago. It kept saying Firefox was running when it wasn't, and I couldn't do it. And then I installed one app, and then I realized, I need to install another one, and I couldn't because it errored out. So I think you only get, and that happened to me before, I think you only get one chance at running, installing stuff with DNF. I think it does. I don't know what it does. You used to could do that in Fedora, as long as you could keep doing it till you it filled up the memory. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to start. The first time I've done this twice already, but I had been forgetting how to do it. So I've got my USB stick in there, and that little partition that mounts U3 system is a little Windows partition. I'll show it. That I would like to delete, but I can't. It's like can't delete it. It won't let you. So it's a little 2 gigabyte USB stick that I've had for years, and it's a SanDisk, I believe is the brand. Anyway, it's just a very small amount of files. It's not a problem necessarily. But, oh yeah, okay. And that reminds me, my big backup drive, my Seagate 5 terabyte backup drive, I need to unplug that because, and you don't want to be, you definitely don't want to be in the any drives when you unplug them. And really with these old USB sticks, it's best to right-click on their icons and say eject or safely remove. Well, when there's two, right now that Fedora partition, I have Fedora 23 64-bit Cinnamon desktop on it. I'm going to have to take that off, but it's not mounting right now, but that's fine. I don't care. I'm going to take it off anyway. But I don't want this on there because the app, the Fedora app, will see this. It will only see the Seagate expansion drive, and I definitely don't want to be wiping it and losing all my backups. So I'm going to unplug that. I need to get out of there first. So I'm just going to go to another directory, so I won't have any kind of busy conflicts or anything like that. And you can just unplug that drive. It doesn't mind it. At first, I think actually if you right-click on it and try to eject it, it doesn't want to cooperate or something. But anyway, it's a hard drive, not a USB stick or a flash drive. I also have a little USB flash drive that I put in a USB a SD card that I put that for a phone. You know, the mini micro or mini, whichever one it is. That's for phones, 32 gigabyte. Um, that I put in a USB adapter because I don't have any anything like that on my desktop, meaning that I can plug it into. Okay, so now what I want to do, the Fedora Media Writer is what I want to use. That's what they tell you to use now, and it's really great. It works really well. It's easy to use. So, hey Jeff, this is what you want to use. Fedora Media Writer. You'll have to, now you can get it. Okay, I'll show that. I forgot about that. I'll go to Fedora Project. I've been there so much, it's right there in the top of my, hopefully I can find this right quick. Okay, so workstation is what you're going to want, but you don't want to just click on that and download it because you will get the Genome 3 version, and that one I don't think you'll like. I don't like it. It's too heavy on the resources to put on a Core 2 machine, so you can't use that even if you wanted it. You might like it because you like it. Talking to you, Jeff, you might like it because it's just like a mobile phone interface. But anyway, if you just click on download now, then you're going to be getting Genome 3. You don't want that. What you want, let's see, can you get to it? Yeah, any of the pages you can go on down to the very bottom. And what you'll want, you see it says Fedora Spins and Fedora Labs, and it's kind of get you to both places, but let's go to Fedora Labs first. That's what they call them now. Okay, you could do fully like an astronomy, a design suite. You can do this if you want it. Get you all set up. Jam is the one I like the best of these. Oh, they do have Fedora Jam. And it has all kinds of things for audio and video and stuff. There's, games. There's scientific. Some of this stuff's pretty heavy-duty stuff, But like say Jam or Design Suite, it's good for. It's got a lot all the apps you could want for graphics stuff. You might actually like that one better. So let's go there. So since you do a lot of photography. I'm not intending on doing this whole video, just talking to one person, but I just got in my head there and I started doing it. Okay, so here's a little blurb about it, and then here's a bunch of the apps that you'll get. And they'll already be installed for you. So that actually would be a good starting point for somebody that, not familiar with finding and adding their own apps. And it's not a lot, though. It's not like a whole bunch. But so you would click on that. Only thing is, here's what I think is going to happen. We'll go click on download now. And sometimes you click on download and it does it. Okay, it picks one for you, see? 2.1 ISO image. ISO is it's like a zip or tar archive. It's an archiving method is what it is. So when you hear people talk about download the ISO, it's an archive file. What you're going to have to do is expand it and put it on your USB stick, but this app over here will do that for you. As a matter of fact, you won't have to go through all this if you use that app, but I'm showing you this anyway. But the 64 bits is the default. If you wanted 32-bit, if your machine won't support it, then you can go there. But it's not saying what desktop is it. That's because it's going to be Genome 3, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Genome 3. So that's not what you'd want to do either, unless that's what you want, Genome 3. Now, some of these pages don't have the exact same thing. This one does, okay. Some of them don't have the same thing at the bottom. Let's go to Spins. Now, Spins, this is if you're actually, this is an if thing now, if you're going to download it manually, basically. And I'll get back to that app in a second here. This one has KDE. That's a good desktop, but it's also heavier on the resource usage. XFCE is the lightest one, I believe. Well, that and LXDE. XFCE of the light ones is the one I like the best. Mate's my favorite so far. Cinnamon was what I was just running a while ago. They're going to look pretty much the same, except for Mate has the way I like it. See, the way my stuff is up at the top's all my controls and everything. Down at the bottom, all it has is what's running and my extra desktops, my extra workspaces, they call it. And that's how Mate is by default. And that's the way I like. This one only has one bar at the bottom, more like Windows, but it's still the same. They're both based on Genome 2, which is my favorite desktop. This one is for little kids. It's an education desktop. I don't like it at all, the way it's laid out. It's still this Fedora operating system, but it's different desktops environments. So I've already downloaded all this stuff, so I'm not going to do any downloading. But if you were going to, then you'd click on that one. Then you would go. It would take you. It gives you a bigger idea of what it's going to look like. You'd hit download, and then it starts with the 64-bit, which is what I'm wanting. And there's also the ARM for ARM is for like Android phones have ARM processors, and the Raspberry Pi, if you've heard of that, and a bunch of the development boards. But you're not going to be getting into that right away. They won't run on your phones. Maybe there might be one that would run on a phone, but you'd really have to be a serious phone geek to be able to get that going. I actually want to try that, but I haven't got around to trying it yet. But so that's what I'm going to be downloading. I'm going to use that instead of I was going to go ahead and try the Cinnamon, but I decided, I'm having trouble with both of them, so let me go back to the one I'm mostly familiar with. So in this Fedora Media Writer app, you can do all that straight from the app. So that's what you're going to want to do. That's what I'm going to want to do, Okay, now I get a message. I've already got a Fedora image unzipped onto that thing, got a Fedora partition on there. It makes a special partition. And it says, you inserted the SanDisk cruiser pattern. Make sure that you know what you're working with. You don't want to end up, it's not telling you what's going on, but I know because I've been doing it for years before this app ever came out. But what it's going to do is wipe that old partition and put a new one that you can write, be a blank one that you can write these files, that you can copy these files to. You don't want to, erase your backup USB drive or your hard drive or anything else. So make sure it says what you want to write to. So get the idea that whatever USB stick you are going to use, plug it in. If you're doing it on Windows, that's the other thing I didn't go into. This app, where do you go to download that? I'm going to go back. Well, let's don't go back right now. I'll go back and mention Windows in a minute. Don't want to go into too many circles, but I keep thinking, I just forget that everybody, you might be wanting to do this on Windows. If you got a Fedora machine or a Linux machine, period, use this Fedora Media Writer in Linux. It's going to be great. But there is a Fedora Media Writer that runs on Windows, and I'll go see if I can show you where to download that in a minute. But SanDisk Cruiser pattern, 2 gigabyte, that's my drive. And since I already have that on there, and what you really want to do is use a USB stick that you don't mind erasing because you may not have to erase it. If it has a Fedora partition on there and you don't have enough space, like I don't, I only have 2 gig, then you're going to have to erase it. If you have a larger USB stick, you might not have to erase it, but really your best bet to get a good working bootable media is to go ahead and erase it. So use something that you don't mind erasing. All right, so I'm going to hit, but it doesn't say erasing or any of that stuff. It just says do nothing or restore. I'm going to say restore, and it's that quick. To reclaim all space, well, it hadn't done it yet. Reclaim all space available on the drive. It has to be restored to to its factory settings. The live system and all saved data will be deleted. See, there you go. You don't need to restore the drive if you want to write another live system to it. Do you want to do it? Well, I have to because I don't have enough space to do it otherwise. If you had a lot of space, you could not do that. It's not telling you the particulars, but I've done it the manual way for years, so it doesn't take too long. See there. So now on here, it's not evident until you start exploring. So you got Fedora Workstation Server and a custom image, which if you had one already downloaded, you'd click on that, go and find it and do it. But don't have to do that either. Actually, that is what I'm going to do, but let me show you how you would do it. Click on that. There's those 3 dots. I didn't say what I was doing. The 3 dots at the bottom of there. Click on them, and it's like in a phone. I don't like that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. It's tiny. It doesn't show up. But that's what people, I guess, are getting used to. They're trying to turn everything into a phone operating system. But anyway, here's all the other desktops I was just showing you, the spins. And I'm going to want Make Compiz. Now, I'm not going to click on it because I believe it'll just start downloading it right away. It'll download it for you, and when it's done, it will ask you, do you want to write it? And It may go. Let me click on it. Okay, it tells you what it looks like, and then there you go. You got a chance to go back. Tells you what it looks like. Tells you all about it. That's LXDE. I didn't even mean to click on that. But then you'd say create live USB. That's when your download would start. But I'm going to go back. I was cross. I'll do that all the time. I was cross-eyed. See, make confiz. There it is. Make confiz 64-bit. Now, let me go back and mention something. Right up there at the top, I didn't notice that the first time I ran this lately. It's defaulting to 64-bit, which is really, going to give you the most versatility in your operating system. But if you have a machine that won't run 64-bit, then you change it to Intel 32-bit. Or, you notice that says Intel as well. If you're running AMD, which you are, Jeff, my friend Jeff is running AMD. I believe that it's, I'm almost certain that they're going to run on the AMDs as well. I don't know why it's saying Intel, but I know they will. Yeah. If you run into trouble, you're going to have to go down and manually go back to the website and manually download one that says, I'll show you in a second. Okay, and then ARM, that's the like Raspberry Pis and all the development boards and stuff like that. So, but what I'm going to do is custom image, because I already have a bunch of them downloaded. And of course, I just remembered I unplugged my drive that has all those images. So I can't, I'm just going to go ahead and download it then. That way I'll show you exactly. If I hadn't unplugged it, I could burn it, but then I have to go around and around, so oh well. Yeah, if you have see, I don't have enough room on this hard drive to see if I have anything in my Linux folders. I don't think I have anything in there. I might have left it on there. Fedora 25. See, this is how I keep them in order like this. Yeah, it's empty. I downloaded it. I downloaded the newest one, and then I, backed it up and then deleted it out of here. Just left a few informational files and stuff. So instead of plugging that drive back in, it confuses this program anyway. I'm going to leave it on 64-bit. And let's see. I was thinking I want to check my live stream. Let me do that. I hate doing that in the middle of everything, but if you're making a live video and it's not working, then it's real aggravating. Okay, it looks like it is working. Let's see. Still got to go 3 more clicks to get to the actual admin page. Video manager, 3 or 4 more clicks. Okay, now I can finally go to live stream. Okay. Make sure everything looks good. Yep, it's okay. Good stream. Okay. I remembered. If I've got that in my, I've saved my last note. So I'm just going to put that up there so if somebody comes by, they will know that why I'm not answering them. Okay, so I'm going to do the download. It doesn't take all that long. Or should I plug my drive? I'm going in nuts here, aren't I? It does take a good 5-10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to plug my drive in. As soon as I can find the right place. I can't see it. I have to just feel for it. So yeah, if you're doing like me and you're wanting to, if you have some stuff downloaded, when that mounts up, I'll know I can go to it. If you have some stuff downloaded that you want to use, then you'll have to have that drive plugged in. But you got to unplug it before you. Hope it mounts okay. Before you, there it goes. You got to unplug it before you do your burning to your. So you can get it. Mine won't even see. It won't even allow me to pick my USB stick until I unplug that big drive. So the downloading part is really simple. I don't think you'd have trouble with that. This would be where you might, if you had something already downloaded, if you needed to do that. So there's my drive. Downloads. Linux ISOs Fedora 25. Okay. There's Cinnamon Workstation. I downloaded that the other day because I wasn't paying attention, and that's not what I wanted. And I was like, well, I got it. I might as well keep it. Fedora Mate. I have i386 for 32-bit machines, and I have put that in the right order so I can see what's what there. Fedora Mate Compiz x86-64. Now that file will run on AMD's and Intel's. Just okay. I'm 99% certain of it now with my memory like it is. I don't believe. I can always make mistakes. Okay, so I have these others for different reasons, but and in case I want them and stuff like that. But see, it's 1.5 gigabytes, so that's still plenty of space. And see that Fedora Jam there? It's bigger than my USB stick, so I couldn't put it on my USB stick. So you got to pay attention to the size of the file. It's one good thing about downloading them first, it would probably tell you if you were using the automated system there in the app. But anyway, to download it for you. And what it'll do is it download it to my downloads folder because that's where I have my downloads goes, and then it just actually I had to close the app once and open it back up, and it still found it because I didn't move it, so that was good. So Fedora Mate Compiz, open. Okay, it says ready to write. And it actually, this time, I guess since I had it the other way, it's showing the right one. If I hadn't have already, that's odd. It wouldn't even let me select the SanDisk. But since I had that unplugged until I got to this point, then it was okay. And I am going to have to leave it plugged in. I guess what I did before is, oh, that's right. I ended up, since I wanted to unplug it because it wouldn't let me select the right drive to write to, then I copied it over to my hard drive and unplugged my big drive. So as long as I know I'm going to the SanDisk Cruiser pattern, I'm not doing any formatting right now. That formatting was done a while ago, and that's when it's dangerous. Now I'm just writing files to it. So that part will be okay. You still don't want to write it to the wrong one. It'd be a real pain. So Fedora Mate Compiz, Live x86-64, 25, 1.3 ISO, write to disk. Now you got to put in your root password if you're in Linux. You may have to put in your admin password in Windows depending on how your system's set up. Or just click a little box that says, do you really want to do this? And lately on Fedora 23 I get a SE Linux alert. It doesn't, there's a bug I guess, but they're not going to be fixing it in Fedora 23 now because it's EOL as well. So that comes up just because every time I get a little menu asking for my root password. So it's going to take a little bit to do that and kind of check around on everything. Okay, Windows, yeah, let's see. Well, that's doing that. I'll go to see if I can see. Okay, down here at the bottom, there's different places to find the links, but they're always there. Most of the pages are going to have them at the bottom. Installation guide. Then this is at the Fedora document, the docs.fedora.org. This is the Fedora documentation. Make sure that you're in. See, that took you to Fedora 21. I don't know why it's doing that because that actually gives you the wrong instructions and get the wrong app. Either that or something's odd going on. But we want Fedora 25 installation guide. Yeah, I think that might be a bad link. Or that's where it's taking you. Okay, so I guess that's what no, now I'm in the right place. It says Fedora 25. Make sure that, see, that's all the previous versions down to all the way back to Fedora 7. So make sure it says the version you're working with at the top. Now I'm going to do a search. These pages are in like little short blurbs, not too short, but, well, that's the whole. Yeah, that's the whole, what do we have at the front of a book? Anyway, media. Prepare boot media. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I believe that's, what was I want to show? Okay, yeah, that's where I want to go. I don't know why they use prepare boot media. They used to say USB, that's what you'd be looking for, or CD, or. Okay, Fedora Router USB. Now, don't use Universal Creators. They don't work with Fedora anymore. I used to use UNetbooten. See, I have Multimedia Router and UNetbooten, and I don't, you can't use that with Fedora anymore. Okay, but I got myself all turned around before because I was in the Fedora 21 section. I don't know why it keeps going there, but you want Fedora Media Router, not the old version of the media. They have another one. Okay, that's the one we're using. And let me see. Here's what I want. See if it says something about. There, Windows. There we go. Download the latest installer from the GitHub page. The guy who wrote that, Martin Briza. Okay. Yeah, Media Writer. Okay. I think I'm going to try and put that in. Whoops. Can't type. That should be good enough. I just want to get to Fedora 25. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, there's a DMG. That's for Mac. Yeah. Execute is the one you'd want. That's for Windows. And I'll show you something since I'm right here. What's that one? Flatpak? You know, I haven't dealt with that. Then there's source codes, and you don't want that. That'd be hard to use. But let's see. I right-click. I have an add-on on my Firefox web browser that I would really highly recommend. Virus Total. There's two of them I have, Dr. Web and Virus Total. But I also have Dr. Web. They have Dr. Web for your Thunderbird email client as well. I use that in there. But in Firefox, I like to use that one because it already says it's been analyzed on that day, but I'm going to do it again. So it'll analyze it with like a whole slew of different virus scanners. The file that you just clicked on or the web page you just right-clicked on or whatever. See that many. It's all good and clean. So then you would say open link and then it'll download it. Now, if you're in Windows, I would always do that before I download anything. I do it with everything now. You don't ever know when or what you're going to run into. So I'm not going to be needing that, but that's how you would do that. So, are we done yet? We're only halfway done, so see, I did good. Still on our desktop. So, and this page, if you start at the beginning there for door 25, if you need, step-by-step instructions, if my video is too confusing, then go to this page. You can get there through the Fedora regular website there. That's how I clicked on installation guide. Pay attention when you click on a link that it takes you to the right version, because it did take me to Fedora 21 and that was the wrong instructions. That's what happened to me the other day. And it was telling me a different app, and I thought, well, I have a different one. I know I have it on I used it, And finally, it took me 3 days of going back and forth, not really trying to figure it out. I just accidentally figured it out. But these, it'll tell you how to do it in the command line if you want to do it that way in Fedora. But I don't do that. I wouldn't do it for nothing. It's a pain in the butt, and you got to get everything just right, or it'll, you'll have trouble, have errors and everything. And you can, you're in the command line and you type one thing wrong, then you go and format your hard drive. That would not be a fun day. So, yeah, you could do this you should be able to do this I think you could run, as long as you can run this app here, this Fedora Media Writer, as long as it will run in Aurora or Fedora 17, it might not, because it's pretty old. Oh, it says finished. Then you would want to do it in Windows and just use that Windows executable. And I guess there's not really a problem. There shouldn't be any problem with doing it in Windows. I just don't want to work in Windows unless I have to myself. Of course, if you're used to running in Windows, then that would be the one for you to get. And that would be it right there, Fedora. Let me put that in my deal. Oh, I think I may already put it in the right folder right now while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, the old one was Live USB Creator. You don't want to use that anymore. You want Fedora Media Writer. So I'm going to delete that out of that folder, because that would only work on older versions of Fedora. So there we go. Good to know for me. Okay, it's finished. And this time, since I wasn't formatting, I actually did chance it and do it with my big drive plugged in. I mean, it wasn't a big. I knew it wasn't a big chance. Let me check something here. When you unplug your USB drive, whoops, wrong one. When you unplug your USB drive, oh, that was right. Yeah, okay. See that? Now it has two listings. That one's nothing, and that one's. So the only problem you have there is, my problem is my backup system. Of course, it won't. My backup doesn't start up unless I do it manually, or when I reboot it, my Lucky Backup runs. But if I forget and start Lucky Backup, then it won't find it. Or if you try to get to it other ways other than using, like I'm doing right now with Crusader File Manager, then you may have a little trouble getting into it. So I'm going to close this app. Actually, my USB stick should. Oh, I see. Okay. So now I'll show the files that we wrote. Where is it? There it is. Sometimes it shows it 1.9 gigabytes. Sometimes it. Oh, that's not it. Okay, see, now the size that's available on that USB stick is 1.9. That's what I always look for. But the Fedora image is what size you're going to see. Whatever size that image was, it'll change between what image you burn. So there's the some of the boot stuff. IMG, that's what you'll be booting to. There's some of the boot files. ISO Linux, there's another iNetred IMG, that's another part of what it boots to. Live OS, now that's the big one, it's 1.3 gigabyte. That's the Live OS, Squash FS IMG. You don't need to know that, but just a side note. And that's that little Windows partition that you can't get rid of. So, but it's good to look in there, and see that you got something on there. Then it looks like you did something, that you were successful. Of course, it said it was successful, but a lot of times apps lie, they're like that. So, it's ready, but your older USB sticks in Linux, and really it's better in Windows 2, is to right-click on them and say safely remove. Now that one, it wants to complain, and you got to do them both. It won't complain if you do it the other way around. Okay, so there we go. We've got Fedora burned, and I'm going to go back to, let's see. Actually, I don't need to go anywhere except for unless I wanted to check on before I switch off, I'll go to, I keep forgetting I can do that. I've forgotten that this whole time that I've been back on here. It's running a little slow. Look at that, it's not responding. That means it's going to be time to close Firefox and hope that my machine doesn't have to be rebooted. If it does, I'll have to shut down my stream and start over. I'm beginning to think, I haven't rebooted the machine in a while. This machine is, it's got 4 gig of RAM and it's 2.5 gigahertz quad core, but it's only got 256 megabyte of video memory. So that video memory will fill up. I think that's what's happening. And you have to reboot. You ain't going to be doing no more stuff. Okay, what I'm going to do is force Firefox to close. I was going to go look at my live stream. I think before I get into another long video, I better reboot, as much as I hate to. I was fixing to go right on into doing that. But that's okay. This will be a video on writing your Fedora ISO to your USB stick. And then the next one will be the actual install. And I'll do it. If I can't get the VNC to work, then I'll just do it with the camera pointing at the screen, because I want to get that machine done. And, okay, it might be fine, but it might not. So I think, see how much CPU that uses. Quite most of the time you're doing a video. So the OBS Studio, that's what I'm doing. This is my control application that I control my video with my live stream with. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I need a break again anyway. And we'll come back with the little laptop over here. And one way or the other, I'll do the install with Fedora 25 mate Compiz. Compiz is like the effects and stuff. desktop. All right, it's done. Bye, and I'll be back again in a little while. All right.